3. Let's go.
Welcome to the Balcony AUX Chord podcast.
Let's go. Balcony AUX Chord.
Balcony AUX Chord.
Welcome back to the Balcony AUX Chord podcast. You're here again with me and Findi. Welcome back to the music circle. You know how it is, but for anyone who's new to the podcast, Balcony AUX Chord, it was built on the idea of, us and a couple more friends chilling on my balcony back in, talking about life, talking about music, talking about all this philosophical bullshit, trying to be philosophers or some shit.
Being pretentious as fuck, honestly.
Pretentious as fuck.
That's what it's about.
But those talks are always golden, and we wanted to bring it to the internet, and mostly on those balconies we would nerd out to music and talk about the ins and outs of that chord progression or whatever, right? And some pretentious ass shit. But the podcast itself has expanded from that music kind of centric thing, but we're still very musical centric people, I think. But it's important to talk about other things too.
Shout out to the Clubhouse.
Shout out to Clubhouse,
a little bit.
Exactly.
Talk about Clubhouse a bit.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk
about it later.
I guess I'll just talk about it now. But we've been hanging out on Clubhouse too. So if you guys follow either me or Findi, we have Music Mondays, as I think we're calling it now. Mm-hmm. But we come in and we just talk about music, and we'll try to have a theme each week. But
usually it goes off tangent.
It's quite freeform. If you could imagine our podcast in real life and how
with 8 people,
tangent.
Yeah,
with 8 people.
But with 8 people, it's so today we our theme. What was our theme today?
Nostalgia.
Yeah, literally, I just wanted to talk about music that made us feel nostalgic, and then we just talked about fucking horoscopes,
slow dancing,
and horoscopes for an hour.
Oh, but many hours.
It's a lot of fun, and you guys.
It's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because the idea of the podcast is this music circle, right? And it's always fun to get new perspective, because I've talked to Findi for the past 6 years of my life, right? So I know I can kind of expect whatever he's gonna say. Yeah. So it's it's great to have new perspectives, and how I might disagree with something greatly, but you might agree to it, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So come on and
hang out
and follow, and hang out and all that stuff on Clubhouse. Also, if you want to invite, ask me. I have a few left to give. Anyhow.
How have you been, man? Let's start.
I haven't been great. Look at my hand. For anyone who knows anything about me, or does recently, or follows me on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you. Okay, wait. For anyone who's listening on audio, I'm showing my hand basically wrapped up in the
he looks like a
cloth
mummy
or whatever.
He looks like a fucking mummy.
Exactly. But the reason for this is that I got burnt, okay? And the thing is, I was making steak, and this steak was fucking hella juicy, bro. It was hella thick. It was, I think, an inch and a half thick.
That's a
so it was
steak.
A thick boy, and it was a frozen steak. So it was hard, right? And when I make steak, I don't like defrosting it, because there's a lot of science into this, but I prefer it being frozen, so that in the middle is super red and stuff like that. Yeah. So I decided to cook it in fucking crazy ass hot oil, because you gotta get the crust in, right? Crust for a steak is very important to me. So it's when oil is smoking and burning, literally.
Yeah,
it's 200 Celsius, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the temperature. But basically, I already had the steak on one side, and it was already getting to the point where you have to flip it. So I decided to flip it, but because it's so heavy as a piece, and the tongs that I were using were so flimsy, I had to tilt it and place it on the side, side first, and then slowly place it. Yeah, and then it fell. It fucking fell without me I wasn't ready for it, obviously. And then all the oil basically in the pan just splattered on my
Did your
hand,
skin
yeah.
start smoking and shit?
Yeah,
Oh, fuck.
yeah. Like I couldn't feel my whole hand. Like I couldn't raise my hand because it was like really like I got all my fingers basically.
Except your
my
pinky?
pinky just no, it just healed up a little bit, but I'll show Findi too, just
That's
like a little bit.
fucking gross.
Yeah, but yeah, there's been some blistering and all that, so I had to go to the doctor and all that too. But yeah, man, that's been my week. That has been very painful.
Is it
I
your
haven't
right
been
hand?
able to. It's my right hand. I can't do
Oh.
anything.
Oh no,
Yeah.
the most important thing with your right hand. Writing. You can't write. Oh man. That's fucking tough.
It's
So
really
before
tough.
you
It's
go to
really
bed
tough.
and when you wake up, you can't write.
You can't write.
That's
I can't,
so
I
tough.
can't write my poetry. I can't write my poetry
Oh
before
man,
going to
you
bed
have
or
to,
waking
man.
up.
I don't think I can sleep without writing my poetry.
Right.
Actually, I gotta record my thoughts.
Right.
I don't
and
know.
Then,
I don't.
you'll search it up sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think I can write poetry with my left hand though. I think
Uh-huh.
it would be a little weird, you know.
Dude, isn't there like a really good website? Like it was like Poetry Hub or something.
Yeah, Poetry Hub. But
Yeah.
still, like writing poetry, and like, I don't think the message will come out the same, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
I get
fuck.
you.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
but not a good week for me, I suppose.
it's healing up though, because the first day I saw it
Yeah.
was your entire hand was covered up.
Because that was like the night that it happened. Like I took a photo on like literally like an hour after I got the incident happened, and like at that point I literally didn't know which finger or which hand or my whole hand got hit by the oil. So I just told them, I was like, I feel pain everywhere. Just wrap my whole hand, because like you don't want it to get infected in that point. At that point, right? And also, I don't want to touch it or anything subconsciously or anything. So I just told them to wrap it up. And then the next day, I went to the doctors, and you can start seeing like the marks and stuff like that. And basically, it was just all the top halves of my fingers.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, but my thumb got the worst. Like in between the
nook here.
The nook between the thumb and the index finger,
Yeah.
like that got a lot of the pain too. Cause like I was in a tong position, so I was like squeezing the tongs, so it hit my thumb and everything.
That's so scary. That's so scary.
So
I made steak last night, and I was thinking about, and so I was extra careful with my steak. I was like
fuck.
Yeah, I was just like flipping it. I didn't even. I just like used like. I just stabbed it with a fork and I flipped it like very safely.
Yeah.
And I also wore like
mittens
because you know Splash, right?
Yeah.
There's a splashes and shit.
That's good.
I was like scared as fuck because I saw your hair. I was like, nah, I don't want that. I gotta write my poetry every night, you know. And I cook with my right hand,
man.
and I can't write with my left hand. This doesn't work.
And
Sometimes
during
it feels
first aid.
Sometimes it feels like somebody else is writing your poetry, which you can't do that. You gotta write your own poetry.
You can't. You gotta write your own poetry.
Exactly.
It feels the best. It feels right. But like I just wanted to have like a little PSA for anyone who like gets burnt. And like my family is quite like Asian, and Asians believe in whatever, right? And there's like apparently like an urban myth that you put toothpaste on burn marks and it works. A PSA to anyone: don't do that. Apparently, like that's not good for it because it'll irritate the burn and it will make it worse.
Yeah.
Some things that you can do is like ointment if you have it in the house, obviously, because that's targeted to burn marks. Aloe vera, also for sunburns, but also honey. If you have honey, apparently that works.
What about pepper? I heard peppermint oil or something was like good.
No, apparently that will irritate it.
Really? That's only good for hickeys, right?
I think so. I don't know. I've never had one.
Shut up, bro. Shut up, bro. Yeah. Remember this one time you just had like a giant scarf? You were wearing a scarf. I think you had to go like to a meeting or something. You were telling me, and you wore like a giant scarf, and you were indoors, and it wasn't cold.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
It's a good time.
It's a good time. It's a good time. But yeah, just to anyone who ever gets burned, never do that. Because like basically, like my mom like basically ran down with like a whole like tube of toothpaste, and she was like going fucking crazy on my head.
Did you put it on?
And I was like, I put it on, and it felt better because it cooled it down, right? But like in the long run, don't do that. Like I searched it up, and I was like, I washed it up immediately. I was like, okay.
God.
Pretty much.
It's gonna take a while to heal though.
Yeah, man. I think pain wise, it should be gone within this week or next week.
But you have to keep it on for infection.
No. I think once it dries up, it's okay. But like, I mean, like in the long run, what I meant was like scarring. So I have to treat it like for scarring and ointment every day and stuff.
You look kind of sick. It could be your like.
What?
It could be your thing, you know.
My thing.
Yeah,
scar hand.
I got a red scar hand. That's your like villain. Your villain name is like.
I'm Zuko. Zuko hand.
Zuko hand. Instead of the scar, you have the.
Yeah. Whatever, man.
But it's not been a good week.
No, not really. And I can't really like catch up with my work just because like a lot of it's typing and stuff. But I've been trying, obviously. But like.
You've been texting me with your left hand. How the fuck?
Yeah, I've gotten better with my left hand, surprisingly. Typing.
Nice.
Not writing poetry.
Not writing poetry?
No. Still not a fan of writing poetry with my left hand.
Oh, okay. So I gotta get used to it though.
I mean.
Dude's
gotta do what he's gotta do.
It's gotta do what you gotta do, yeah.
A poet's gotta do what a poet's gotta do.
Other than that though.
Yeah, nothing. I've got nothing to update other than that. But how about you, man?
Me too, man.
Doing the same thing?
Doing the same thing, but I didn't burn anything.
Did you burn any bridges?
I only burned my will to fucking live.
Damn.
No, I'm just kidding. It's been an alright week, man. Just chilling. Doing the same things. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of waiting around.
Yeah. I guess one thing to update too, since we already talked about Clubhouse, but I've been quite active on Clubhouse myself. This is like separate from the balcony aux chord thing, but like, you know, it's similar to balcony aux chord. Not even gonna lie, just because like it's just like talking about anything, you know. But like I've called it Owl Talks just because we start at night, and it's targeted to people in the U.S. and stuff too, because like a lot of the English speakers who are Thai, they're in the US right now. So like it was meant to be like that. Yeah. And you know, we have some nights we call it like unpopular opinion. We do shoot our shots. We had like a third culture kid day.
What does shoot our shots?
Shoot your shot. Shoot your shot.
Okay, what is that about? What do you guys do?
It's like it can be romantic or like a friendly thing, but you can shoot your shot to anyone in the room. So be like for like a Findi, like you're like, oh, that girl's cute or something, or that guy seems cool, whatever, right? Like you could be like, yo, I want to shoot my shot at, I don't know, Matt Young. I don't know if you didn't know Matt Young, right? I shoot my shot at Matt Young, and then he seems like a cool guy, and I know we have a lot of mutual friends, but I haven't like had a chance to like say whatever. And then I interview both of you just to get like icebreakers going, and everyone who's listening to get on the same page. That's pretty funny. You guys talk it out. Yeah. And then like whatever, right? Like whatever comes out of it. But like I think like mine is different from other rooms because like other rooms are like they match people up, which I don't think is like great. Like the idea of it seems pretty regressive. Like it's just like pick one dude, one girl, and make them talk for like 15 minutes. And like I hear at the end of it, they make them rate each other's experience.
That's kind of fun.
Like, what would you rate this experience with?
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all. Yeah, exactly. Like so I decided for my thing to be like, it's a friend thing, like mostly a friend thing, but like obviously like for entertainment, like obviously if you want to do it,
that's pretty funny. Yeah.
Like we had a guy, Will. Will was on last night. Oh, really? Too. You know Will.
Yeah.
Dude, Will's great. Will's one of my friends now. We met on Clubhouse, but yeah, he like shot his shot. He shot his shot. Wow, that's weird. To this other girl that I also know, and apparently they've been talking. So it's been.
Oh, so shout out to like the fucking matchmaker over here.
Right.
See, the thing though, Clubhouse. I feel like Clubhouse is kind of taking off, man.
I think so too. I think. I mean, there's. I'm a little scared in terms of like I'm a user of it, right? I'm a little scared that it will get blocked in Thailand one day just because of the political implications about it. But I do agree that like Clubhouse has such a a lot of potential if they do the right thing in terms of like improving user experience and all that.
I think
stuff.
it's a very cool idea.
Yeah,
I've had fun.
Too.
I've had like the only times I've been honest when like we have the balcony aux chord thing on Clubhouse.
Yeah,
but like I think it's like it's very. It feels like it just feels like you guys are like friends and shit like on there. You know, like you, like the Jason and like just like a bunch of people that's like regulars on in your rooms and stuff like that. And I think it's kind of cool. Like it's kind of like a nice like community because I feel like I've been kind of like out of touch with like the English speaking sort of say like Thai community.
Sure.
And
but also socializing in general too, right? Like I've been out of touch with like socializing with people, so it's been nice to talk to human beings that like I don't know, like you know, like that feeling. Yeah. And like the thing is, like I've always compared it to like Clubhouse feels like if you had an apartment room. And you're just talking with one friend, but other people can just walk in and like discuss with you at any time. Like literally, just like it felt like Akom's room if you were to compare it, you know. Like back then in university, like we would just have late night talks with our friend Akom in his room, or my room even. Yeah. And then throughout the night, people will walk in and out, and then they could either join the conversation, listen in on the conversation, or just like walk out, like whatever. Right?
It's pretty nice.
But like that's the idea, like that's the feeling, and I feel like it's like especially when you talk at night when like a lot of the filters are kind of down for some reason, so it feels quite genuine.
Like today, on one of our balcony aux chord things, one of the girls shared like a really intimate story about like her life and shit. Like it was just like in Thailand, it was like 2:00 in the morning. You're just talking with a bunch of strangers, so in a way, it makes it so that there's less pressure to share because nobody knows you. Nobody knows what the fuck you do. These are just like friends you made on the internet. So there's no pressure to like have a filter. So you can kind of just be honest and be vulnerable. And sometimes get like very like impartial advice.
Yeah, you're right. And I think one element of it is that there's no video. And there's no videoing of like you can't see your faces. And I feel like seeing someone makes it more intimidating. Like when you Zoom, like even when in my like classes, I don't want to turn on my video because I'm just like it's like nervous, man. Like I don't want to share my thoughts and like you know everyone's staring at me and shit. It's just like self-conscious. But like when you're just like in your own room, you can do whatever. You can be naked. I don't even know. But like,
sorry, 1 second.
What are you pointing at?
I forgot the recording thing stopped, and it's just recording now. My video. So.
You're back again after some technical difficulty. So Findi
forgot to hit record basically
on the camera, but that's okay. You know, this is an audio podcast. We're is G, but we're talking about Clubhouse, and I love Clubhouse, and it's been fun moderating. Like you know me, Findi. Like I've always been like MC kind of like person. I like to MC, I like to moderate, I like to do all that stuff. Yeah,
you're pretty good at it, actually.
Thanks, man.
Like and especially on Clubhouse.
And I think like in my it's like in my element too, right? Like I don't like moderating kind of like serious like investment or whatever or like shit like that. Like I like moderating more fun things because I get to like comment and be funny and like just be
literally
myself,
we're just like basically asking people to share their stories and then we just shit on them. We just
basically
that's what happens on Mark's like rooms or whatever the fuck.
So it's been nice, guys. Like I know if you're probably listening to this, you're probably already following, but you know, join in and join the conversation. But yeah, man, I see a lot of potential in that app. There's a lot of power in like democratizing the voices and like giving people the space to create anything. Like imagine like you wanted to make a podcast, but you didn't want to buy a mic. You didn't want to make you don't even know how to edit. Like there is zero cost to clubhousing. And like creating, right? You can say whatever you want, and it's not recorded. And it's like it's crazy.
You get that. That's good. Like, what do you think what are the implications in terms of like politics, though? Because I know that we. Like especially in Thailand, we have a lot of issues regarding like censorship and like freedom of speech and stuff like that. Do you think? Because I've seen like, one of my friends sent me like one of the talks with like Sudarat, and I apparently she was going off. She was going off about like vaccine, like the government like not doing a good job of like delaying the vaccine or whatever the fuck's happening in Thailand right now. And then my friend sent it to me and she was just like, oh, like this is so fucking interesting. Like do you think that in the future this might become a problem for like, you know, Thai government with like, you know, a lot of the shit that they just don't like people talking about?
I think I don't think it will be the last straw. I think it will just be like bring attention to it a little bit more, just because like Clubhouse will be the first app to like kind of do that in terms of like allowing people to join in at any time. I feel like this is the beginning of a new trend of social media in terms of like joining at any time, because like I feel like Twitch was similar. Like you could live stream anything and like it's like live now, right now. But like it wasn't as, yeah, exactly. It wasn't as kind of like it still felt like there was an entry cost to it in terms of creating. But like with Clubhouse, I feel like there's nothing at all.
It's sick that you don't even have to put your name. You can just be you can be anonymous.
You could be anything. Yeah.
You know, you could be anonymous, start a room and be like, oh, let's discuss the military government, for example, right?
Exactly. And I think there's a lot of power in being able to be like, hey, I'll be on at 8. For example, if I'm like a political leader or something, I'll be on at 8. Like everyone tune in. We have a special message to announce that we're going to be protesting at point A, go now or something, right? Dude, there's a lot of power in that. Because like there's a huge issue with mobilization. This is just like a general issue or theme in like political science, but like collective action and mobilization is a huge thing. Like how do you as a leader mobilize thousands of people to do something at the same time, or to disseminate knowledge at the same time without any repercussions? This is the answer to that.
Man, that's exciting but also very scary, I think.
It is. And like it's not just like we're looking at it from like a progressive view, right? We're looking at it from a not censored left wing, because you know we're obviously a little left wing, but like left wing are able to talk about, you know, the problems of the state, whatever, right? But there's also the other side of being like white supremacists who are able to just have a room talking about white supremacy, right? There's obviously
that's the dangerous, man. Like a lot of like, I feel like that's also always been a problem though, right? Like with the internet, like if you're fucking weird, if you're fucking like you're into some fucked up shit, it could be whatever, like, you know. Oh man, I saw that. I
just hurt my hand unintentionally.
No, like if you're into like fucked up, like, you know, the Christchurch shooting at the mosque in New Zealand, that was a 4chan thing. So 4chan is basically Reddit, but like a lot more
old school.
Old school. And it was just like on the internet you can always find people with the same views as you, no matter how fucked up your views are. And that's I guess like that's always been like the kind of danger that like just like social media and like being like the anonymity of like the internet has posed for like I guess like people. So I don't know.
Well, one thing I would also say is that like I think you bring up a good point. Like Clubhouse has amplified the idea of echo chambers. First of all, there's a funny like it literally echoes, so it's like okay, whatever, ha. But like but also like the algorithm right now is based on who you follow. So for example, of Findi, you follow all these left-wing kind of like leaders, for example. You're gonna be only hearing left-wing messages, right? Because that's just how it works. It doesn't have an explore page. It's just like whoever you're following, their rooms pop up. So nothing else apart from that. And then the other side too, like the right wing, they only follow their own people.
Man.
And we're gonna be even more polarized by this point. So I think in general though, like I think this is just advice for anyone who's just on the internet, and I think I'm learning to do that too. But to open yourself to new and conflicting ideas, and to like follow people that you don't want to follow sometimes. Like obviously, like you don't agree with them, and you don't intend to agree, but you need to listen to them. and like understand where they're coming from.
Come up with your own judgment. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Come up with your own judgment.
I think like during like the heyday, not the heyday, but the first boom of the youth movement in Thailand, I had a lot of like older Thais in my Facebook friend group, right?
Yeah.
And then they were posting literally like disinformation on Facebook, and it was like obviously it was against the youth, but like the point being is that like I decided not to unfriend them because like I felt like it was important for me to see what media they're consuming,
of course,
or what they're believing or what they're understanding and how it seems to them. And I think like you need to like flip it on its head, be like, why do they believe it like this way, right? And like
it doesn't help.
How do we and like how, like the question is like, how do we engage with people like this in order for them to start understanding us? Because like when you're talking to anyone, when you're trying to convince someone, it never works if you only like throw information at their face. But it works when you start like being like, your ideas are fair, they're good, whatever, right? Like you start like caring about their own thoughts instead of just like throwing shit at them. So like I think that's just the art of like kind of like negotiating. But the point of it is like, please just educate yourself and like don't fall into the echo chambers that is right now Clubhouse. Also another thing is like there's a lot of misinformation on that app.
You can literally say anything, bro. Like I could just come up with shit and say it. Like right now, I could go make a room right now, you know?
Right. And like basically everyone on that app has claimed to be a CEO or something. If you've noticed, like all the bios are like CEO of this, that. I mean, obviously you might be, but like also like probably not. Right. But
entrepreneur.
Like,
hashtag entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah. Like everyone's a fucking entrepreneur. What the fuck are you doing?
And then they in the bios they're just like, I'm interested in Thai politics, identity, whatever, right? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, fair, like whatever. Like even in my bio, I wrote something along those lines, but I made it funny. I described myself as an incompetent political analyst. Yeah. For a reason, because I don't think I'm credible enough to be commenting on politics. But yeah. I think a Findi lagged out, but I'm a riff off for a second, man. That's all good. That's all good. You know, today we've been experiencing some technical difficulties, but I thank you guys anyways for sticking by and listening. It's always a fun time on Balcony AUX Chord. And yeah, like I said, if you wanted to kind of hop on to Clubhouse, just DM Balcony AUX Chord, and I think between me and Findi we have like seven invites left. So you know, feel free to DM. We'll send the invites over. But yeah, it's been fun, man. Like I've been enjoying Clubhouse a lot. We're still reviving the connection right now, but we're gonna get there. But I think mentioning politics, I feel that we have to acknowledge the situation in Bangkok as well. I think we tend not to speak about politics on this show just because we want to provide escapism and all that too. But I feel like obviously me and Findi are against police brutality, and that's not great. But we're also against violent incitement from any side. So that being said, please stay safe. Please stay informed with what is happening in Thai politics right now. And, you know, just be safe, man. Just be safe with, I mean, you can stay at home and still be engaged with politics, but
wait, what? I'm back, dude. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I just riffed on about Thai politics because I was like, I was just talking about like what we were going to talk about, just like flagging up like what's happening in Thailand a little bit. I just said that like, you know, I was just saying that people should just, you know, stay informed, stay safe,
Mm.
and you know, just be conscious of what is happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have revived the connection.
I was just complaining about the internet. You can mute me for like a minute.
Okay,
I said,
that's all good. Fucking internet.
Fucking Shaw is ripping me off.
Internet. Yeah, I feel you. Shaw.
Oh, yeah.
I had Shaw too back in the day.
Piece of shit network, man. Honestly,
it is what it is. Anyhow,
so are we done with political talk?
we're done with Clubhouse and political talk, or maybe we're not. I'm not too sure, but that, you know, Clubhouse is great in general. Just like if you're in wholesome groups, it's great. Yeah, it's
I think it's like a nice place to just do dumb shit and talk about dumb shit. I feel like we don't need another podcast like analyzing, you know, like the political situation.
Exactly. Like I've been telling people in my big one, like AUX Talks, like I've been like, yeah, if you want to comment about politics, go to another group. Like this is not like for that, like
for fun.
And like people have like definitely they're like, why don't you want to talk about politics? Because like this is like an important time to talk about politics. I'm like, sure,
there's spaces for that.
But like, yeah, I'm like, do you think that YouTube should just all be political conversations? Like, do you think that like TV should all be about politics, or should it like be like a variety of things that people can choose? You know, and I think for the most part, I think my rooms have been attracting political scientists anyways, because I think we're all kind of like, we understand what's happening in terms of like power play and everything, because like that's how we're trained to look at things. So I think like we just want to escape from that for a little second.
Yeah,
just because, honestly, like our minds think like that all day, and like we just want to talk about something else. Yeah. Like if you notice, Findi, a lot of the people who listened to me or was in that call last night are political scientists, like an IR theorist. That's so funny. Like Will literally has a PhD or is getting one in political science. Yeah.
I feel political science, sorry. Yeah, like even me, like I don't like talking about politics that much nowadays. Like I'm pretty I read and I obviously like keep up to date and stuff like that. But like I was on a date one time and she was getting like really political. She was asking about this and that, and I was just like, yo, like I talk about this shit in class. Like I'd rather talk about you. Like,
was she talking about like identity crisis and like identity problems?
This was like in the summertime, so a lot of it was like, you know, the state and
BLM.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Like like how the state is handling this and that. Like it was getting really serious, and I was just like straight up. I was just like, yo, like let's talk about something else. This shit stresses me out.
But you're right,
because sometimes when people are like really left, like this sounds conceited, but you know, like as a political side, like of course you like stand somewhere on the spectrum, right? Like you're only human. You're obviously gonna have an opinion, blah blah blah, but like sometimes like people kind of are too, or they've only consumed the media that they've consumed, or where they get their information is like really one-sided, like the thing you were talking about. And sometimes, you know, like as someone who's studied this, you're just like, oh, I don't want to burst your bubble. Like I want to be that guy. I don't want to be like, yeah, but also, you know, they kind of have
gotta think about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They were like saying like, you know, fuck the cops, like ACAP and shit like that. And I was just like,
yeah. But there's also another side of governance.
Like you have to get the big
balance
picture, right? That's the thing, is you're trained to like pull yourself out of your the personal way that you look at politics and to like analyze the whole thing as a whole system, like how it works, as opposed to just your narrow little field, or
pigeonholing
yourself, or just like echoing like what your friends have been talking about, or what kind of shit that they've been to.
Right. You know you're right. Yeah, and I think we talked about this in the Defending Our Art Degrees podcast.
Oh, did we?
In terms of like, I think so. We were talking about how like political scientists or like people in social science kind of like view it from like a holistic view.
Yeah.
And I think like that's the benefit of having a social science degree, is that you're you approach it from like an abstract thing. Like you gotta view it from different angles.
You gotta pull yourself back. That's what it is. It's
exactly.
just
in particular, like when you learn about history, history is all about like it's like retrospective, right? It's a retrospective look. So you have to be like obviously Hitler did the wrong thing, but like why did he do it? Like what are the push factors? What are the pull factors? What are the like it's not just like black or white. It's like a lot of it is just like politics. It's like who are the actors? Who is influencing that person? Stuff like that. Who's influencing the current situation even. Like you can apply all those things like soft skills to anything.
Whatever,
And in particular right now, like I guess to be more specific, the Thai situation. You gotta see like who are the actors, who's playing what, who's saying what, and what do they represent, you know? So like I feel like in general, for anyone who's listening and who's like just like breathing heavily, just like
try to just first of all just like chill, like I know it affects your life and everything, but you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, like you gotta approach it differently. You know, don't take it too personally, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these
because the politicians aren't thinking of it like that too.
It's not, right? There was this one time, dude. I was talking to this girl about like she was talking about like she signed like you know what the Proud Boys are?
Oh shit!
Yeah, so we were talking about Antifa and the Proud Boys. Like it got that political. And
that's not fun.
And like Canada recently labeled the Proud Boys as a terrorist organization.
Oh, good, okay.
But the thing is, they're, you know, like I don't know. Like and then I was like, okay, like she was like this was before, and she was like, yeah, they're terrorists. And I was just like I was kind of trying to like tell her that like the Proud Boys probably didn't plan that Capitol Hill siege, dude. Like no one's like sitting there like Al Qaeda style. Right. There's no like Osama bin Laden behind the scenes like we're gonna storm the Capitol, or at least like I was just saying it's just they're just dumb and they just went for it, you know. Yeah. So labeling them
they probably just went for it.
Labeling them as a terrorist organization is like I was just like that could be kind of.
But they are a militia. They are a militia.
They are.
Yeah, they literally have a small army, which is concerning. But
I don't know. I was just trying to argue.
I said good because like it in terms of international relations, because Canada doesn't relate to America in terms of Proud Boys and stuff like that. But like it flagged the good or bad or whatever, and like it distanced themselves from America, so it's good in terms of like acting as a country. Sovereign.
But she was like, what do you mean, like? And I was like, can't we say the same thing about like Antifa? Like they've been, you know, like
that's true.
They've been bringing out sticks and guns as well, like sometimes and shit. Yeah. And then she was like, no, like Antifa is like anti-racist, and I was like, yeah, but it's you know what I mean?
Did this date go anywhere?
I changed the topic. I was like, yeah.
I mean, if it did, then props to you for securing.
No, it got heated up, but then you know it was fine. I diffused the situation with my Libra tactics. I was just like, you know what? Like, what about you? Like, you have piercings? Yeah. Like, do you have piercings anywhere else?
You want me to find out?
You have tattoos? Like, how many tattoos do you have?
You want to show me?
This is a classic date question. It's like, if you just got one tattoo right now, what would you get? Like, so I just switched it to that, and it was like,
yeah. That's cool. I don't know what dating is like anymore because I've
been with your girl for 2 years, bro.
But also, I just never dated anyone. So
I think it's overrated, honestly. It's kind of overrated, but sometimes it's kind of fun. It's like talking on Clubhouse with someone you don't know. It's just like you're just getting to know like a random person, and it's kind of nice.
I feel like I'll be pretty good on dates though, in general, just because like
bro,
I can talk about anything, and I'll just diffuse whatever.
It's the same thing as moderating a fucking Clubhouse room, probably. Like you ask,
just moderating a date.
Yeah, you ask a question, then you wait for their response, then you respond to their question. with like more questions, or you just answered that part of the question? I don't know. This is the thing. Yeah. Dates are,
I feel like I'll be pretty good on dates.
I feel like I'd be pretty good on dates. Yeah.
I mean, what's the success rate right now?
What do you mean?
What's the success rate?
What success rate, bro? What does that mean?
Finding love.
Oh,
no success.
No success. No success. I'm trying to focus on myself actually right now. So
okay.
Try to focus on myself.
Classic response to this question.
Yeah, I've been trying to do Atomic Habits. Did I tell you about this? Oh, I told you about this. You did. Waking up early. This is right here. Guys. Go read this book. Changed my life.
Oh, you actually read it?
I only read like 2 chapters. I kind of got what it was about.
Yeah. It starts. I don't read books, man. Like straight up, I just read like.
You're in school. I read like you have to read like a lot. You know, I feel that.
Yeah. I don't read books. Yeah. I want to read more though, but damn, man. Yeah, Clubhouse has been on my mind for the past whatever week. So,
ain't no much to do. Dude. Ain't no much to do these days.
Man, yeah, and everyone's so cool, man. Everyone on Clubhouse is so cool. I feel like because like my groups have been so niche in terms of like who they're targeting, it's attracted a particular kind of people, and they're all like most of them are girls too. So like I feel like I might have like a I don't know what like a compassionate voice, I suppose, in terms of like communicating.
What the fuck does that mean?
Dude, what that means is that some guys talk in a way that it sounds really brash. Yeah. It sounds like very patriarchal.
Yeah. It's like they're mansplaining shit.
Yeah.
But you're more of just like, let me know what you think. Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. Like that might be an explanation.
So your selling point is that you don't mansplain. That's great.
I think that's a great thing.
That's a great thing. I don't like
mansplaining.
I don't like mansplaining either. I try not to, at least. Sometimes, obviously, like you do it unconsciously, I think. Sometimes.
Yeah. And I think it's because like we have low voice and big voices. It sounds like as if we're like shouting like our thoughts to other people and literally like mansplaining, but it's like just how I talk and communicate and stuff like that. And like how I like sometimes like when I'm working in a team with like just a few other like women,
lungs.
Like I just tell them, I'm like, hey, like I don't want to dominate like the conversation, like I don't want to mansplain, like I literally just say those words and I'm like, yeah, please, like, you know, go for it. Like I know I'm loud, I'm sorry. But
I was just built different, bro. Sorry.
I'm just built different.
Built fucking different. But yeah, I think I have a tendency to do that too sometimes. You know what I mean? Like just talk. Like I feel like me and you are talkative people in general. Like I know that both you and I have like really big, like we need a big personal space as well. Like we enjoy our time alone and we like to do things alone. But whenever we're in a group setting or we're just with other people, me and you talk a lot. That's why this podcast kind of works, because like I say something and then you could just go on and then I'll just go on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why it works. But
that's why it works.
Sometimes like I feel like I'm dominating a conversation. Like I'm talking too much. Do you know what I mean? Like how do you deal with that? Like inside your head?
How I deal with
or how do you become conscious of it and try to like, you know,
how I become conscious of it is when I lose track of my idea.
Oh really?
When I start not knowing what I'm talking about,
you just riff too much and you're just like,
when I riff too much and I'm like, where did I start from? And then I'll be like, okay, I think it's time for other people to talk. Then I go for like, hey, like I feel like I've been dominating for a while now. Like, you know, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, because I
think that's a good sign.
I think sometimes I have trouble with this. Like I've been more conscious of this. It's just like, like I feel like I'm talking a lot. And it's fine. Like, man, like I can talk. Like today, for example, me and Mark couldn't come up with an idea for a podcast. Like just straight up, we were sitting there for like 20 minutes. Like, what should we talk about? And I told Mark I was just going to just record and just talk about just random shit. And we can do that. And we can do that because we just talk so much, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, like I feel like not a lot of people can do that. Like they have to have like a mental mind map of like how this conversation is going. But like you don't have to, right? Like that's just how conversations work. Like you never plan to talk with your friends. Like you never have a plan to talk with your friends.
Yeah.
It's always organic. So it's like I feel like this is the most natural way of progressing.
Yeah.
And that too. Yeah. But
sometimes I think I do talk too much though. I need to like listen more. You remember that saying? It's like you have 2 ears but 1 mouth. Yeah, you gotta listen more than you speak.
Okay, so you should listen more. Right. Gotcha.
You also have 2 nostrils and 1 penis. So you gotta breathe more than pee.
That's true. That's a true statement, actually.
It's a true statement.
That's a true statement.
I'm always breathing, but I'm not always peeing. So
you have 2 arms, so you need to feel more than you use your dick.
True statement.
True. Foreplay. You know? Exactly.
You know, foreplay for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then
you got more fingers than you have. You got more fingers than you have a tongue. You know, use more fingers.
Don't go down on anyone.
STDs. Dental dams, guys.
Yes. What the fuck? Anyways.
so this is a metaphor that we've been using to talk about poetry and writing poetry.
I thought we were actually talking about poetry, bro. You want to hear a poem that I read? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to come up
Please
with a poem.
Pull out your poem.
I'm starting writing poetry right now.Hold on, let me get the cocoa butter.
Poetry, please.
Let me get the cocoa butter.
So I can write my poetry. That's fucked. But
yeah, what else? What else?
Dude, you know what? Let's just talk about Clubhouse. We have like 5 minutes left, but I wanted to say like let's get some of the people on Clubhouse that we've gotten to talk to on this podcast.
They're actually really interesting people.
Yeah, they're so interesting.
I want to get my ex on this. I think it'll be funny episode.
Right?
I think this will be such a funny episode if we get Priya on this.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm gonna ask her.
Yeah, like
I think Jason would be a good guess.
Jason would be a great guest.
We can actually talk about music with that guy.
Yeah.
Like we don't even have to just talk about life and shit. We'll like pick a theme or like he can pick a theme, something about music, and then we'll just talk with him about that.
Jason's one of those guys that like stuck with me for like the first time I did in the room, and he's always been there every day. So like we've developed like a very good friendship, and he's a very cool guy. He lives in Chicago. Dope guy, man.
Chi-town.
But let's organize something.
Yeah, we'll ask him.
Those people.
Yeah, we'll ask him to join.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Will, April. Shout out to them. Shout out to more people that I can't think of right now, but you guys are very good speakers. But yeah, let's get those people on. Yeah, and if anyone wants to be on as well, who is also a listener of this podcast,
literally just let us know. Like literally just DM.
Yeah, because if you're interested in these conversations, you're probably a good contributor to these conversations.
And honestly, it's like since doing the podcast, like I've learned. Like, I mean, I haven't really learned much, but it was just like, actually, no. I think I've learned to sort of like talk in a way where it's like, I don't know. I think we were talking about this last podcast. Like, it's a good way to like, I guess, learn some kind
practice.
Of like, some kind of like practice for like even public speaking or like speaking in front.
For sure.
Obviously, I'm super comfortable around Mark because he's one of my best friends. Mm-hmm. But like, also, it's just like, you kind of practice your voice and stuff like that. So it's like a nice place to do that without judgment.
Dude, last time, it's funny you brought up best friend because someone DM'd me with the clip of you saying. After was my best friend, and they were like sad boy Mark. He took a photo of me. So I was
funny.
Like, motherfucker.
So people actually watch that shit. That's nice.
Yeah, man. I'm like, that's cool. Like, thank you for
watching.
Yeah, right. Like I know, like it's like we have like around like 40 people listening like per week and stuff like that, and you know we value it. You know, just because like it's fun, man. Like I don't know about you, it's fun.
Yeah,
like, I don't care.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to be that famous either, man. Fuck.
Yeah, actually, no.
or else we can't say anything.
Like literally, like I feel like if we had like a big following,
yeah,
I don't think it'd be. I don't know. First of all, there'd be too much pressure. Second of all, there'd be pressure. There'd be a lot of things that I'd be conscious of saying more. You know, and like that, like that just like takes away from like the authenticity that like we can bring to like this thing.
Yeah. That being said, this episode is sponsored by Gatorade. We're getting paid $2,000 to be.
Why fucking Gatorade? So we can continue to write poetry. You gotta need that electrolyte so you can fucking write poetry all night. You feel me? Like it's a little tough out here, man. Let's stay dehydrated. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, electrolytes.
Anyways. Yeah, like I think that's a good idea. Getting those guys on the podcast potentially.
Cause like we said too, we want more people, more diverse views, kind of like on this podcast. Cause like I said, like we've known each other for a while now. Like it's kind of expected. Like if we talk about politics, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say. I mean, like it's good dynamic that way. But like I feel like if we had like a very different one, that'd be cool too.
We're just like we've like talked about the same things sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like we've like repeated
definitely Airbender.
Yeah, like we literally talked about Avatar like 3 fucking episodes. I don't know fucking how. Yeah. And there's probably, if we could talk about it now, we could probably go off for like another 3 hours. Honestly.
Yeah. I wanted to I guess we have like another 5 minutes, I would say, but I wanted to quickly talk about how excited we are about Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, and Bootsy Collins' new album coming up this week or next week.
Yeah, that's a fucking.
That's crazy, bro.
That's like star power.
Yeah, do you know how crazy that lineup is?
That's star power.
Like Bootsy Collins is like one of like super funky. You know Bootsy Collins by any chance? Like he's like
yeah, of course.
His sound basically inspired like Redbone.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino. Like so it's like very like old soulful sounding bass like.
Yeah, Bootsy Collins is sick. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have the
Bruno
drums.
Mars.
Yeah, the drums from Anderson .Paak, and then Bruno with the vocals. Damn, bro.
Like it's just a lot of like confidence and like like funkiness and like all around like confident personalities.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a cool project.
Let's have this. Like I already told you that next week we're gonna have a guest speaker, but the week after that, let's have a dissection of that album.
Sure. We'll listen to it. Yeah. We'll listen to it and then we'll come up with something.
And let's talk about like, song by song or something.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Anyhow, I think this is a good place to end the podcast, end the episode this week. We have a tradition on this podcast to share music because this is the music circle. You know, you gotta invite people to the music circle and share music with each other. We normally share like a couple songs per week.
Yeah.
So if you need some new songs, check those. Like at the end of each episode, we recommend songs. So, Finn, do you have songs that you want to recommend?
Yeah, I recently got back into Muse. I don't know if you remember Muse.
Who the hell is Muse?
Muse, like.
Oh, you mean like the band?
Yeah, Muse.
The big band.
Yeah. So there's a song by Muse called Invincible.
Cool.
And it was on one of their older albums, and it's like I listened to it again and I was like, yo, this is just so good. What the fuck? And there's another one. The second song is Build a Nest by Jeff Parker featuring Ruby Parker. So a little jazz track for the boys, you know, for the rainy weather. Yeah, what about you?
I was gonna recommend a song, but it's none of my Spotify's are linking up right now. But I don't know the name, but I'll put it in the description or whatever. But I guess I'll just choose some other ones here. I've been listening to what the fuck? Her Light by Cleo Soul.
Nice.
And let's say. That's it, man. The other one I don't remember what it's called, but I'll put in the description. Fuck it.
Okay.
I forgot the name.
All right.
But
thanks for listening.
yeah, man.
Thank you, Mark, for talking to me.
Cool.
And
thank you. End it off.
Thank you, the viewers, for listening. You know,
subscribe.
Subscribe to our podcast. We have 70 now.
Yeah,
last time
77.
Whoa,
77
yeah, and also
yeah.
We're on all like major streaming platforms. You can check us out.
Yeah,
there too. Like when you're chilling or just like you need
cooking.
Yeah, cooking, or you need just someone to just fucking talk their asses off in the background. You know what I mean? Mark and I. Mike and I are there for you. You just gotta tune in, and also, Clubhouse every Monday. Around like 11:30 Thai time.
Yeah,
or like 8.
Wherever you are, just figure it out.
Just figure it out.
Just follow us, and it'll pop up on your Clubhouse. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for listening, audience. It's been a
Bye,
great
guys.
episode. Goodbye.
Bye.